Hi, and welcome back to the Self-Actualization in the Age of Crisis Chapter Summary series. I'm your host, Ron Rivers, and today we're going to be discussing Chapter 3, Systemic Actualization, Education, subsection, Why Reform is Necessary. So in one sentence, the reason that reform is necessary is the vast majority of our youth inhabit an education system designed for an industrial era of productivity and participation. It was an era of technological progress where we needed people who were smart enough to operate the machines, but not, possessing the capacity to kind of climb up the ladder or challenge the status quo. It's a form of education that binds the individual to the past instead of equipping them with the tools, agency, and access to transcend it. It's no exaggeration to say that today, the vast majority of education that's occurring is training individual youth for a universe that doesn't exist anymore. We also lack any real paths for prolonged continuing education that don't involve, assuming massive amounts of debt, which is a very big structural problem for the adult. Now, when we consider the vast majority of education in our immediate present, it's done in a hierarchical framework of learning. The teacher teaches, the students take in, memorize, and then regurgitate for tests. And then tests are used to essentially rank individuals early on, and those rankings determine access and agency throughout their educational career, which really in many ways fails to recognize that genius comes in many forms and fails to kind of really develop and cultivate the talents of others who might express their divinity in alternative directions than the singular form of hierarchical education that our education frameworks support. I want to emphasize the ability to memorize a wide range of facts is not valuable in a society where every individual has a supercomputer in their pocket. What we want to do is transition from this kind of wide memorization, wide and really shallow memorization of facts to a more selective depth. So encouraging the individual to really choose their own adventure, so to speak, and dive deeply into it. And we can even consider this from the nature of the most advanced forms of work. We're entering an era of self-learning machines that are really proliferating into many things that we do. So in many ways, we cannot predict what the future of productivity and participation are going to look like. However, with that said, we can use our present trajectory to ideate and really kind of form a consensus around what type of skills will be necessary to thrive in that world. And today, the most advanced forms of work, the most lucrative and the most freeing for the individual, prioritize the type of person who is dialectic in their engagements. They're able to engage in a wide range of ideas. They're able to problem solve collaboratively. And most importantly, the most advanced form of work today is paid to people who it's not relevant what they know. What they're getting paid for is their capacity to learn and then apply that knowledge in a given moment. So beyond knowledge, the biggest thing that our present educational institutions reinforce is obedience, right? Do it this way or else. If you fail to fit in a specific mold, you're penalized. And really, this kind of encouragement of obedience bleeds into the psyche and the kind of long-term time experience and event chains the individual inhabits. This type of education is not preparing our youth for the world they're going to inhabit. And in many ways, this prioritization of individualism over cooperation and collaboration is distancing our youth from alignment with the single truth and relational universe. Reforming education is necessary to most fully respect an ever-changing individual and allow them and infuse them with the agency and access to direct the flow of their time experience within a given moment.